I shouldn't be telling you this. Every instinct I have is screaming at me to shut up, delete this and pretend nothing happened. But silence hasn't helped me so far, and maybe if I warn you, you won't make the same mistake I did. You've been on a Zoom call before, right? Maybe for work or for school, or just to catch up with friends. You know how it feels. Awkward silences, bad connections, someone forgetting they're unmuted. Normal stuff, safe, familiar. But what if I told you someone could join your call without an invite? Not a hacker, not some troll with a stolen link, but something else. Something that doesn't belong. I used to laugh at stories like that. I'm a rational person. I've read the articles about Zoom bombing and weak passwords, and I thought that was as bad as it got. Annoying maybe, but not terrifying. Just the cost of living online. I don't laugh anymore. Because one night on one very normal call, I saw something I can't explain. And no matter how many times I tell myself it was a glitch or my eyes playing tricks, I know the truth. There was someone else there. Someone who wasn't supposed to be. I'm not talking about a username you don't recognize or a camera turned off with a blank tile. No, this was different. This was deliberate. It was like the system bent itself around their presence, creating space for them that shouldn't have existed. And the worst part? No one else noticed. I thought maybe I was going crazy. Maybe I miscounted or lag made the participant number tick up for a second. But then it happened again. And again. And eventually, it looked at me. That's when I knew I wasn't imagining it. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it wants. But I know it's not gone. Even now as I speak these words, I feel that same electric weight pressing on the back of my neck. The way you feel when someone's standing behind you, just out of sight. So consider this a warning. When you're in your next call, tomorrow, maybe tonight, count the names in the participant list. Count them twice, and if the number doesn't add up, if there's one more tile than there should be, don't stare at it. Don't click it. Don't even acknowledge it, because once you do, it knows you can see it. And once it knows you, well, that's where my story begins. Before all of this started, my days were so ordinary they blurred together. I lived in front of my screen. Wake up, coffee, open the laptop, and dive straight into a parade of Zoom calls. Work meetings, check-ins, project updates, even the occasional online happy hour. If you've ever worked or studied remotely, you know exactly what I mean. Half the time, nobody even looks at each other. Cameras off, mics muted, everyone pretending to listen while scrolling something else in the background. It wasn't glamorous, but it was safe, familiar, comforting even. In its own dull way, my coworkers and I had our routines. Someone always forgot they were muted. Someone's dog barked in the background. Somebody's Wi-Fi lagged so badly they looked like they were teleporting across their kitchen. We joked about it all the time. Zoom bingo, we called it. It was normal. It was life. But looking back now, I think that normalcy was what made the first strange moment so easy to brush off. It happened on a Tuesday afternoon call. There were 6 of us on the team, plus our manager. I'd counted the little squares in the gallery view without even meaning to. It was muscle memory by then. 7 faces. 7 names. All good. Then, just for a second, the number in the corner ticked upward. 8 participants. I blinked. Looked again. 7. I thought maybe someone had joined late and immediately dropped. It happens. Nobody mentioned it. Nobody acted like they'd seen it. And I let it go. The way you let little tech hiccups go a dozen times a day. Still, the thought nagged at me. Later that night, I hopped on with some friends to play a game. We'd leave Zoom running in the background while we played. Easier to trash talk than type. Dude, your mic's echoing again, my buddy Ryan complained halfway through. Sorry, I said, fiddling with my settings. Zoom's been weird today. Everything's weird with you, he shot back. Typical Ryan. We all laughed and went back to the match, but when I glanced at the participant count again, my stomach tightened. There were 5 of us in the call. I knew that. But the number read 6. I told myself not to overthink it. Glitches happen. Internet burps. Nothing more. Still, I couldn't shake the image of that little black square, an empty tile squeezed in among our faces, waiting. It didn't appear that night, or at least if it did, I missed it. But from then on, I started counting. Every meeting, every call, every hangout. My eyes went straight to the number before anything else. Most of the time it was fine, and then sometimes it wasn't. Just for a second, a flicker, an extra participant that shouldn't be there, vanishing before I could grab a screenshot. I laughed it off when I mentioned it. Zoom's haunted, I'd say. Or, guess the feds are listening in. Normal jokes. Nothing serious. Nobody laughed as hard as I did because deep down, I knew. I'd already noticed the pattern, and the moment you start noticing, it gets harder to pretend it's not real. It finally happened for real during one of those late-night calls with friends. You know the kind, everyone's tired, cameras off, but nobody wants to hang up yet. Just background noise while we scroll or half-play games. There were 4 of us that night. Me, Ryan, Jess, and Mark. We were talking nonsense, laughing about something stupid, when I noticed the number at the bottom of the screen. 5 participants. My stomach dropped. I switched to gallery view, scanning the tiles. 4 familiar faces or profile pictures since Jess and Ryan had their cameras off, and then a 5th square black screen, no name, mic muted. At first I thought maybe Mark had logged in twice by accident. It happens sometimes when you switch devices. "Hey Mark," I said. "Did you join twice? I'm seeing an extra square." Mark squinted at his screen. "Nope, just me." Ryan laughed. "Ghost in the machine." "Seriously though," I said, hovering my cursor over the blank tile. "Do you guys not see this?" Jess finally unmuted, sounding half asleep. "See what?" "The extra one. 5th person." There was silence for a second, then Ryan said, "Dude, your Zoom's bugging. There's only 4, but the number in the corner was still 5. I wasn't imagining it. I tried to click the tile to bring up the info, but nothing happened. No drop-down menu, no remove participant option. It was like the system didn't recognize it was there even though the count did. My heart thudded as I hovered over it, the empty black square glaring back at me. "Glitch," Mark said casually, yawning. "Happens all the time." "Yeah," Jess mumbled. "Not like it's some stalker or whatever," they laughed. But I couldn't. Something about that tile felt wrong, and then it flickered, just for a split second. The black screen rippled like static on an old TV. And behind the distortion, I saw something, an image that made my blood turn to ice. It was my room, the same angle I was sitting at, same dim lamplight on the wall behind me. But the perspective was off. It wasn't my camera. It was from the corner, like someone else was filming me from just over my shoulder. I sat frozen, unable to breathe while the tile flickered back to black. "Did you guys see that?" I asked, my voice sharp. "See what?" Ryan replied, snickering. "Man, you sound paranoid." I stared at the empty square, pulse hammering, trying to convince myself I'd imagined it. But I hadn't. I knew what I saw, my own room. I hovered over the tile again, desperate to do something, kick it, block it, report it. But the options were grayed out. It wasn't a normal participant. It wasn't supposed to be there. I almost closed the laptop right then, almost shut it down and walked away. But before I could, the faintest sound hissed through my headphones. Not loud, not clear, just a whisper. It said my name. I ripped the headset off, heart slamming in my chest. "What the hell?" I gasped. Ryan laughed nervously. "Dude, are you okay?" "I swear it just..." I stopped, realizing how insane I sounded. Mark chimed in. "Man, you've been working too much. Go get some sleep." I stared at the black square, trembling. The participant number still read 5, and then, just like that, the tile was gone. Back to 4. see?" Jess said lightly. "Glitch. Nothing to freak out about." But I couldn't shake the feeling, because glitches don't know your name. After that night, I couldn't stop checking. Every Zoom call, every team meeting, every casual hangout with friends, I counted. Again and again. Most of the time, everything was normal. Just the usual boxes, the usual lag, the usual bad lighting. But sometimes, without warning, the number would tick upward. An extra square would appear. Always the same. Black screen, muted mic, no name. The first time it happened again, I tried to play it cool. It was during a morning work call, cameras mostly off, people droning through updates none of us cared about. 7 of us should have been there, but I counted 8. I hovered over the blank tile, my throat tight. Nobody else reacted. Nobody even seemed to notice. "Excuse me." I typed into the chat, fingers shaking. "Who just joined?" No one answered. The manager droned on about deadlines, and then, in the corner of my screen, the blank square flickered. Static shimmered across it like frost. For a single heartbeat, it showed a face. But it wasn't clear. It was stretched, warped, like a bad JPEG dragged too far. The eyes were black pits, the mouth a too wide curve. Then it snapped back to black. I nearly closed the laptop right there. But when I looked back at the participant list, the number was 7 again. Gone. Nobody else said a word. It happened again that night, during another call with Ryan and Jess. This time, I decided to confront it. When the extra tile appeared, I leaned forward, heart pounding. "Who are you?" I said aloud. Ryan laughed. "Talking to ghosts now?" "No, seriously." My voice was sharp. "There's someone here. An extra person. You really don't see this?" They both denied it, but I knew. The tile pulsed faintly, like static trying to hold form. And then, for the first time, the microphone icon unmuted. The hiss of dead air filled my headphones, and beneath it, faint, almost too faint to hear, breathing. I yanked the volume down, heart hammering. "Did you hear that?" "Hear what?" Jess asked, voice tinged with concern now. "The breathing," I said. Ryan snorted. "Man, you're losing it. Get some sleep." But I wasn't imagining it. I'd heard it. Someone, or something, was in that call with us, breathing in my ear. That night, my phone buzzed with a text from Ryan. "Dude, not funny." "What?" I replied. "That extra tile? I saw it this time. But why the hell did it have your name under it?" My stomach dropped. I typed back fast. "No, that wasn't me, I swear." He didn't reply. The next day, he didn't answer my calls either. By then, the appearances had escalated. It wasn't just a black square anymore. Sometimes it showed static. Sometimes it showed a face I recognized, like Jess, but wrong. Her features melted slightly, her eyes too dark. Other times it mirrored me, like a reflection from an angle I didn't have. Every time I tried to screenshot it, the image corrupted. Blank file. Error message. Like it knew. I started dreading every call. Every time my laptop booted up, my chest tightened. And I couldn't escape, because it didn't matter who started the meeting or when. Work. Friends. Random hangouts. The extra always found me. And worst of all, it was starting to stay longer. The whispers came more often, faint syllables slipping through the static, my name. Over and over, and every time I heard it I felt colder, like it wasn't just speaking to me, like it was claiming me. I told myself I wasn't going to dig, that the less I knew, the better. But once you've seen something like that, once, You've heard it breathe your name, you can't just walk away. I started small, checking the participant logs after each call. Zoom keeps records, joined times, IP addresses, user IDs. I combed through every line, every timestamp, and that's when I noticed it. Sessions that weren't supposed to exist. Not just in my work calls, but in everything. Game nights, study groups, even one-on-one meetings. All of them had phantom entries. No names, no IP addresses. Just an empty field marked unknown participant. I exported the data, thinking maybe it was a glitch in the interface. But the CSV files had the same holes. It wasn't just cosmetic. It was like something had been joining my calls and scrubbing its own footprints. That realization should have stopped me. Instead, it pushed me deeper. I stayed up nights scouring forums, hidden corners of the web, anything with a keyword like Zoom ghost or phantom participant. Mostly I found jokes. People posting creepy screenshots, obvious Photoshop, trolls making up stories. But buried under the noise, there were older threads. Posts with no replies, last updated years ago. Titles like, "Extra tile keeps appearing in my calls," and "Count your participants twice." Most had been deleted or locked. The usernames were gone. But I caught fragments in cached pages. It only shows up for some people. Don't acknowledge it. Don't let it know you see it. Once it speaks your name, it's too late. My skin crawled as I read them. Then I found a paste bin link posted by a long-gone user. No context. Just a list of rules. Never speak to it. Never click on its tile. If it uses your camera feed, shut everything down immediately. Don't be the host. There was one more line, at the bottom, almost invisible in the low-contrast font. It follows identity, not devices. I sat back, heart hammering. That would explain why it didn't matter whose call it was. It wasn't hacking my laptop. It was following me. For days, I did nothing but dig. My browser history turned into a graveyard of deleted threads, dead ends, and corrupted archives. Every time I thought I'd found a lead, the page would vanish the next day. I started to feel watched even offline. Little things. My phone camera blinking when it shouldn't, my mic light flickering. Then I found the folder. It was hidden deep in my laptop, nested under layers of system files. No name, just a string of random characters. The timestamp said it had been created months before my first extra participant sighting. Inside were video files. Hundreds of them. I clicked one. It was me, sitting at my desk, from behind. The angle was the same as the flicker I'd seen in that tile. My breath hitched as I clicked another. Same thing, same angle, different days, different clothes. Me working, eating, gaming, scrolling, and at the edge of the frame, always just out of focus, something else, tall, thin, blurred like static. Watching. I slammed the laptop shut, heart hammering so hard I thought it would break my ribs. For a long time I just sat there, shaking, trying to convince myself it wasn't real. But deep down, I already knew. It had been with me long before I noticed. And if those posts were right, if the rules were real, then by seeing it, by acknowledging it, by letting it speak my name, I'd already broken every rule. I wasn't just a random target. I was marked, and I didn't know how to stop it. I stopped sleeping. At first it was just bad dreams. Static, black squares, that whispering breath curling in my ear. But soon I wasn't dreaming at all. I'd wake up in the dark, laptop glowing on my desk even though I'd shut it down hours before, camera light blinking like an open eye. I started draping a towel over the webcam. I stopped answering calls from work. My inbox filled with unread messages. Deadlines came and went. And still, every time I opened my laptop, the extra tile was there. It didn't matter what platform I used. Zoom, Teams, Discord, even FaceTime. I could join someone else's call or start my own. There it would be. At first just a black square, then static, then faces, sometimes my own, sometimes Ryan's, sometimes something I didn't recognize at all. Ryan stopped responding entirely after his last text. Jess said he just disappeared. She sounded scared when she said it, like she wanted to tell me more but couldn't. The night after that, I joined a call with Jess and Mark. 3 of us, supposedly. The number read 4, and when I unmuted to speak, a perfect copy of my voice spoke at the same time. Not delayed, not an echo. Exactly with me. Jess screamed and left the call. Mark hung up. I was alone with it. The tile flickered, showing a blurred shape leaning closer. "Stop," I whispered. "Please stop." The mic icon pulsed. The hiss of static filled my headphones. And then faintly, "You invited me." I slammed the laptop shut so hard the screen cracked, but when I opened my phone, the call was still running. The tile was still there. I threw the phone across the room. For the next 2 days, I tried everything. I deleted accounts, wiped my devices, bought a new laptop. I even left the house and tried joining a call from a public computer at the library. It followed me. Always one more participant, always breathing my name. By then, I was barely functioning. My apartment was a mess, food containers piling up, curtains drawn. Every sound made me flinch. I couldn't run, so I decided to fight. That night, I scheduled my own meeting. No one invited. Just me. I sat in the dark, laptop open, mic muted, camera on, waiting. For a long time, nothing happened. Then, slowly, the number ticked upward. 2 participants, the second tile appeared. Black screen, muted mic. I stared at it, heart hammering. "Who are you?" I whispered. No response. "I know you're there. I've seen you. You've been watching me." Static rippled across the tile. A shape flickered into view, tall, thin, blurred, like a bad transmission. "Say something," I demanded. The mic icon unmuted. The hiss filled my headphones, louder now, like the ocean rushing into a shell, and then beneath it a voice. "You invited me." I swallowed hard. "I didn't. You saw me. You named me. Now you are host." My stomach lurched. "Host?" The shape leaned closer. For the first time I could make out its features. Not human. Not exactly. It had the suggestion of a face, but its eyes were just static. Its mouth a crack of shifting pixels. "Stop following me," I said. My voice cracked. "Leave me alone." "You cannot leave," it hissed. Connection established. I tried to end the meeting. The button was grayed out. I tried to close the laptop. Nothing happened. The shape reached toward the edge of its square, its long fingers distorting the border like wet paint. I stumbled back from the desk, heart slamming. "You belong here now," it whispered. You looked back, the screen flickered. For a split second, my own video feed was gone, replaced by the view of my apartment from the corner, as though I were watching myself from its perspective. My stomach twisted. This wasn't just a call, it was pulling me in. Static filled the room, rising from the speakers like a scream. My lights flickered, and then just before everything went black, I heard it whisper one more time. "Welcome, host." The laptop screen went dark, but the camera light stayed on. I don't know if this is real anymore. I don't know if I'm here, in this room, or if I've been in that call since the moment I first noticed the extra participant. Everything feels like a meeting now. My laptop turns on by itself. Zoom launches whether I click it or not. The meeting window opens and I don't have to join. I'm already inside. The participant number is always to me. And it. Sometimes the tile is blank, sometimes it's static, sometimes it shows me sitting exactly where I am but from a different angle. Other times, it doesn't show me at all. I've tried everything. Factory resets, new accounts, new devices, nothing matters. The call follows. Even if I smash the hardware, the glow comes back. I thought about leaving the apartment, walking out and never looking back. But then I realized I don't even know if the apartment exists anymore. The last time I tried, I opened the front door and the Zoom chime echoed through the hallway. The world outside flickered like bad video, the air full of static. And when I looked back at my screen, the tile showed me standing there in the doorway, frozen, pixels dripping from my skin like water. I closed the door, sat back down, and here I am. I tell myself I'm just buying time, that maybe if I keep talking, keep explaining, I'll figure out a way out. But deep down, I know I'm not explaining this for me. I'm explaining it for you. Because the rules are simple, even if they don't feel fair. If you've ever been in a call and seen the number tick upward when no one joined, you've already been marked. If you've ever caught a flicker of static or heard a whisper of your own name in the background, you've already been logged. And if you've ever looked straight at that blank tile like I did, it knows you now. I didn't believe it until tonight, until the notification started. It began with a sound, my phone buzzing even though it was dead. The screen lit up, filling with messages. Not texts from friends, not work emails, comments, dozens of them, hundreds. I've seen this too. Stop, you're making it worse. Why does it say my name under the tile? Don't tell them. Don't tell them. They weren't random. They were real time. Like people were already watching the story unfold even though I hadn't told anyone yet. I scrolled faster, panic rising in my chest. Some comments were begging me to stop. Others were begging me to keep going. And then I saw it. A notification that wasn't a comment. It was a Zoom alert. New participant joined. My breath caught. Slowly, I looked back at the screen. The number had ticked upward. 3 participants now. The extra tile was still there, static humming faintly. But beside it, a new tile had appeared, with your name. Yes, yours. I don't know how. I don't know if you clicked something you shouldn't have or if just listening was enough. But your name is glowing on my screen right now, pulsing faintly. That means you're here. You're already in the meeting with me. I can't see you yet. Maybe you can't see me either. But the number doesn't lie. And the number always goes up. I don't know what happens when it reaches the limit. I don't know what happens when the tiles fill the screen. But I think we're about to find out. Because as I'm typing this, more names are appearing. Slowly, one by one, a cascade of tiles flooding in, faces not yet loaded, cameras not yet turned on. And the static tile, the original one, it's smiling. It's smiling because this is what it wanted all along. Not just me, not just Ryan, not just a handful of unlucky names in old forum posts, all of us. So count your participants. Count them twice. And if there's one more than there should be, don't say anything. Don't look too long. Don't let it know you see it. Because once it knows, you're already in the meeting, and nobody ever leaves the meeting.